The finish line is nearly in sight and the boys have done well to endure the race so far. And although they are competing against each other, there is camaraderie that has been built up over time. This is obvious when you see each lifter cheer each other on, spot each other, and give each other pats on the back for a job well done. This itself, quite literally, is an accurate representation of what it is like to be a member of Adonis Athletics. With that being said, they all know that they need to focus on their own training and not drop the ball from here on in.
Being a PT and a gym owner has taught me how important goal setting is, and also having a structured plan around your training.
It's a therapy for everything you go through. I want to see what the human body can lift really with these three main lifts.
Thought hell I'll lose some weight too, and through that process just got into powerlifting.
I think the coach is very important. Something that I should have sticked that way earlier.
His build is actually not ideal for sumo.
This is the fourth week of the second cycle, and as such, it's usually deload week. However, as always, programming needs to be individualized for the athlete, and if an athlete feels good, then it isn't a must that they deload. For this very reason, Heath and Jack are not deloading. Mainly, Heath has been on a relatively lower volume due to his hip problem, forcing him to cut squat volume back, and Jack is a late entrant, which means he hasn't really put his body through the same stresses as the others have so far. They have both reported to the coaches that they feel good and are happy to continue without deloading. All other contestants begin deloading this week. Let's have a look.
I've decided to deload, so I'm working up to 172.5 for one, and then back down to 144 for 3 sets of 5. That's what I'm doing today. I decided to deload just because I didn't take the deload previously, so I could use it as a chance to catch up. But I think as the competition's progressing and the workload's getting more intense, I think I have more to gain by taking the deload than I do by pushing through. And there's too much risk with pushing through and not recovering I really don't want to break down halfway through and then not be able to complete at my best on the test day. So take the smarter choice, take the deload while I can, and hope for the better results at the end.
So my body's feeling a bit sore from all the squatting and deficit deadlift, so I've opted out for the deload just for this week. So it's not relatively heavy weight, not too heavy as per the usual cycle, but just to keep my body in touch and just for a quick reboot for next week when we peak. Yeah, I'll definitely need a deload. You start feeling it in your knees and your hips. Yeah.
Could just be warming up as well. Once you warm up, might feel a little bit better. Yeah.
But you start to feel that niggle in your muscle and your joints. It's like, yeah.
It's like a deload week is a great opportunity for you. So like get on top of your mobility work and all your activation. A deload week is a great opportunity for athletes to take the time now that they haven't, because the sessions are a lot shorter, to get on top of the mobility work and all the activation work. It's the perfect time because you're still going to be at the gym for the same amount of time by doing the mobility work, because now you have the time to do it. Get on top of it, especially in your deload week. Even during the deload week, your muscles won't be as tight because you're not handling those heavy loads as much as you were. So your muscles won't be as tight, they'll be a lot looser. So the mobility work will take a better effect and the activation work will be even better.
Definitely need a deload. I'm feeling it, trust me. So yeah, I'm feeling a little sore, even though the weight's dropped dramatically. I think it's a good time to listen to my body and just stick to this weight for this week, so that when we peak next week on heavyweight, hopefully I can take it on a little easier. The expo was really good. There was a lot of energy. a lot of attendees, a lot of competition, giveaways. It was pretty awesome. I guess the atmosphere was kind of motivating to continue with the grind. Seeing people from different backgrounds, different sports, remaining healthy and having like each and their own individual goals. So for me, that's motivated me to make a bit more changes on my diet as well, so I can become a bit more healthier. So yeah, let's hope all that energy and motivation from the weekend can be transferred into my training over the next few weeks.
Trying to get my glutes to not hurt by making them hurt more.
So you guys haven't seen much of Mitch actually deadlifting. That's been usually because the days when he deadlifts are not the days, usually not here. He does it at a gym closer to his house. But today we're lucky enough to get him deadlifting. But in some ways it's unfortunate because it's actually a deload week this week. However, overall his deadlift technique has improved dramatically. When he first started, if you remember back to the first episode when we did the testing and everything, he actually started on the sumo deadlift, and for a while, for a couple of weeks, he was doing sumo. He had some problems with his right knee collapsing in, which he was getting better at, but we decided to just try out conventional sort of midway through, and immediately he felt much better doing conventional, so we just switched. And that's usually the course of action that we take anyway. If we try a different stance and the athlete feels good in that stance, then we just take that new stance on. And he's been able to progress much better with it. He feels good with it, feels like he recovers with it and stuff like that. So his progress in the deadlift has been very good, and it's been constant. There's been no roadblocks. Actually, it's been quite the same for all the guys across. But Mitch, in fact, I think at the moment, his deadlift would be sitting at about 280 something. So, yeah, and he tested, I think when he tested it was 220 or 230 from memory. So he's probably put on about a solid 40-50 kilos on his deadlift, and we're like in the maybe 7th week of training. And this is the deload week, so it's not even a week of training, and we've already had another deload week. So by the time the test comes around, I'm expecting something around maybe 285, 290. Let's see how it goes.
So usually with squats and deadlifts, whenever I'm on a deload, I feel like the weight is really heavy, even though we've cut it down to like 60% of what I usually do. However, with bench, I feel like it goes up easier and smoother. I think I just recover a lot quicker with bench as compared to squats and deadlift with my hips and my quads. So you'll see, like with my next few reps, I'll still be able to manage to hit a pretty heavy weight with my singles, and I'll feel pretty fine tomorrow and the day after. So it's pretty good. I did 140 and it was easy. Like
For triple?
no, it's singles. It's 3 singles.
Oh, single today?
Yeah. That was still less than 8, wasn't it?
Close to 9, yeah. That's like maybe a little bit above 7, but sorry,
Because the bar path is starting to be better. Like since
it's looking better. Yeah.
It's starting to be a bit more.
It's looking better than like.
So when we first started the grind, I was having a bit of issues with my bar path. So when I was benching straight up. And over the past few weeks, what we've been doing is tweaking the technique so that the bar path comes up on a bit of an angle. So Amy gave me a technique where I could just sort of align my eyes with a point at the roof and sort of try to work up that way.
Yeah, I just think of like I pick a spot on the roof. That's what I try to like cover that area. So with the bar, so I can't see that spot.
Okay.
I just say like go to the spot basically.
And over the past few weeks, it's been a bit difficult, but now I've finally gotten that direction that I needed. So we've just got to keep working on it until we pretty much filter it and make it exactly what we want by the end of the program.
Just explosive, pumping blood through. You know what I mean? Yeah, not really ever slowing down too much,
Okay.
but still like doing work.
Well, you're not just watching set. I tell you watching Yeah, go up.
More or less that. Could be a little bit heavier, but not much more heavier.
So I'll just put like another plate on.
Yeah, just another plate.
At the start of the grind, I was weighing in at 112, so we're gonna see what I weigh now, and yeah, hopefully it's not too much. Yeah. Good progress.
So hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Just a Tip. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about some things that you can do to possibly relieve some neck pain, upper back pain that some of you might get if you work office jobs or spend a lot of time sitting. So quite a common problem that I see with a lot of people at the gym, outside of the gym, is just discomfort and tightness in through the back of the neck in through here. It can be very annoying. And usually it's not a huge issue with training, but a lot of people have that problem. And sometimes it can be quite easily fixed just with a few stretches. So if you're sitting at a desk all day, it's basically going to be unavoidable that you're going to slouch eventually, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Staying in one posture all day is not going to be great for you, but it is going to mean that you're going to have to do a few things just to try and lengthen some of your muscles and try and relax some of the muscles. So if you're sitting kind of in this position all day, you're going to get pretty tight, especially if you're training and you're doing a lot of chest work and a lot of pushing. Everything's going to come in like this, and you're probably going to end up with some discomfort. So first, we'll go through some stretches for your upper neck that you might be able to try that are a little bit better than just moving your neck around and rolling your shoulders around. So yeah, show you some of those. All right, so a couple of the stretches, what you're going to want to do, if you're going to be sitting down, if you're in the office anyway, then it's quite helpful to just hold on to the side of the chair. All that helps to do is hold your shoulder blade down just so you don't end up shrugging it while you're trying to do the stretch. So you're going to hold on to the side there, then from there, you're just going to drop just your head all the way forward. You're going to bend it away from that side you're stretching, and then you're going to look away from that side you're stretching too. And you should feel the stretch down the side of your neck there. From there, you can just add a little bit of extra pressure, and that's the stretch there. So with the stretches, a lot of people just sit there and they do them for 5-10 seconds. It's going to be a lot more effective if you hold them for at least 30 seconds. I know it feels like a long time, but it's well worth doing it for that extra amount of time. So sit there, hold them for 30 seconds. Once you've come out of it, just gently back out of it. Another thing to take note of is that your stretches shouldn't be painful. So another one that's very similar to that one, but does target a different muscle and can be more effective depending on what in particular is tight for you, is that same position, holding on, dropping your head forward, bending it away, and also looking away. So instead of down here, just turning that way, putting a little bit of extra pressure through there. So if you're getting some neck pain while you're in the office, give those two a go. Otherwise, some just regular chest stretches. So find a corner, push your arms back, just a gentle stretch through your chest. Those should help you to find some relief from that neck pain. Thanks.
Nobody pray for me. It been a day for me. Yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finesse a nigga with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting.
Do you want a copy of the exact program the contestants carried out in their first cycle of training? You can get the exact first training cycle of the grind to use yourself and make some serious gains, just like the contestants. Simply go to this website, put your name down, and we will send it out to you absolutely free. We hope it helps you improve your training.
Sit down, be humble, bitch, sit down, be humble, sit down.
Since the beginning of the competition, I believe and I feel better. So when I first started this competition, within the first week, I didn't know whether I was cut out for this sort of competition at this point in time, both physically and mentally. But I guess just pushing through all the difficult training sessions, I've learned, I've developed and I've grown as an individual. So there's a lot of lessons that have been learned across this journey. Both in all three of my lifts and with my technique. So right now I'm in a good place both mentally and physically. Just hoping to just, during this deload, get a bit of mobility work into my program, so that way when I'm lifting and come time for the peak cycle, we're ready to go and there's no setbacks.
First couple a little high and then you just went way too low.
I was just trying to make a point.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like when she says go deeper, but you've got
Point
no
made.
more.
Point made. Driving those legs. Oh, she's driving towards me, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Right, where was it?
Oh, it was just here. Just got to work on getting my feet back a bit more and using my feet when benching.
I think you're still sort of driving straight up with the bar. It's getting better.
It's getting better.
But you need to like push back towards me a little bit.
more.
You know what I mean? So like you're driving this way instead of straight up.
It's like now it's like that,
Getting there.
but it should be more like that.
Yeah.
So it just needs a bit more work. I think it depends on the day. I watch this next set and you'll see that it moves properly.
Back. I was like a 7, 7.5. How'd it feel?
But I had the straps on, so
Why?
because I usually lean for my top set.
Go 45.
I usually want to go those easy.
For 8?
Yeah. Ready?
Oh, that felt the same, yeah? As you're warming up the other day? It's feeling the same? Okay. That's it. It's a good guide if you've already done the same session throughout the week and you've looked for that 8 RP, which is doing now. It's to base it off somewhere around the same number, especially if you're feeling okay. If he's feeling the same, he's feeling good, then you attempt the same number. I think the unrack helps as well. Because when you unrack it by yourself, sometimes you can your shoulders can come out of place and you lose tightness. But if someone's unracking for you, you can maintain your shoulders back throughout the whole.
It's been helping quite a bit.
Jack's weight is steadily dropping through following the diet he has been given by the coaches. As mentioned before, he's the one at the biggest disadvantage in that regard because he has the most weight to lose going forward. All the athletes need to weigh under 105 kilos and he is currently sitting at about 112. At the same time, his calories cannot be dropped too dramatically because it will simply affect his recovery. He has added in 2 days of some short high intensity cardio at the end of his sessions to help the weight loss along. Doing high intensity work was not our first priority, and really it shouldn't be ideally because it does take it out of the body much more and can affect recovery as it puts more pressure on more of the body's systems, especially when you're training higher intensity for strength blocks. But we had no choice because he doesn't have the time to do longer duration steady state cardio through his days, as he is always busy with work and personally prefers to do shorter, higher intensity sessions and get it over with. The advantage he has is that he has a solid sporting background, so he has the fitness to be able to recover. However, we will be keeping a close eye on his recovery while he is doing this and attend to it if needed.
Jack is made of titanium, mate. He's the robot in this.
He's got his own element on the periodic table. The Jack.
He's a cybernetic organism.
Living tissue of a metal endoscope.
That has real feelings, but real feelings.
By the end of the night, I know now why you cry.
Feelings of hate and aggression. That's what he feels. He feels no pain.
Yes, must destroy other lifters.
I put on 4 kilos in a step. 103.8, oh yeah. It's good.
Come on, man. Stop getting me into situations.
Fuck your clips.
Fuck your clips.
Look at that finesse. Look at that mastery in just 8 short weeks. Imagine what I can do in 12. That's imagine what you can do in an Olympic lifting, weightlifting block of 4 years.
Hey, that's just the shoes look right there. That's all that is.
That is the shoes.
That's the shoes, bro.
Cheap. Hey, look pretty good, mate. Flexibility of the gods in the wrist.
Or at least Adonis.
Yeah, mate.
Most important of the gods.
Good stuff.
It says, you got a squat today. Take 205. To say that, but that's what I think.
What do you mean?
It does say that.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I can read, man. I can read.
I hope so, Jake.
Last week, third week 200. Third week 210.
Alright, cool. 210?
Yeah, 210.
Come on. Okay, well, let's go.
Shall say made it tough.
You need the...
You need to put clips on first, because he's looking at me like, put some clips on.
I think you'll need more.
More than clips. Maybe a little bit of tough.
Well, it's alright. Carry on.
See, I didn't catch all that, man.
I'll put that one for you.
I mean, it's on.
I'll put that one for you.
You need another 20 on that.
There we go, Chief. Get to it.
Spewing. The boys are trying to sabotage you,
I reckon I
bro.
could have done it.
He told me, don't tell him he's going to injure himself and he's going to be out of the comp. That's what he said.
Last week I was benching, and I was like, with dumbbells, I was like, the whole set thinking, my God, my left arm, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Putting the weight back, somebody comes up to me and said, man, do you have that weight plate? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, because the other one's on the bench. I had 2 different weights in my hand.
What was it, dude?
Oh, I can't remember. It was like the difference was 2.5 kilos.
Okay.
I mean, 140 and 180 squats the same. Like just.
Imagine 20.
All I know is a couple people out to sabotage
It's
you,
the lack of carbohydrates.
You
man.
might want to be careful, bro.
It's the lack of carbs.
You got a couple of enemies, bro, lurking already.
Keep talking to me. What were you saying? What's that about enemies?
Carry on, mate. Carry on, Jackie boy.
It's hard for them. It's hard. Yeah.
The same as last week?
No, I have to go up.
What did you do last week?
200. Oh, 205.
So it's vital for an athlete to communicate with the coach how they're feeling week to week, especially if they're in the top end of their training cycle, so they haven't had a deload yet, and the volume is getting more and more each week. Like, get to it straight away at that point to communicate more with your coach, like even day to day. That way, if there is something that lasts more than a couple of days, so if it's not just general fatigue from, say, day-to-day activities, we can attend to it straight away before it becomes a problem. That way, your progress will be much, much better. Jack with the save.
Can you give us a lift off? Goodbye.
Fucking T-Rex arm.
Fucking hell.
That's a lower.
Well, because he's benching on it, he can't.
Fuck up, shorter than yours.
Jeez.
Because he goes so wide.
What's
Then we want to re-rack.
Stop talking.
I can get it on the re-rack for some reason.
Like your shoulders coming out, you're throwing it back. Whereas when you pick it with your shoulders back, you can't. You're not supposed to get your shoulders out. Why don't you just put it one lower? Your arms aren't that tall.
I go on number 6 usually.
What's down now?
5.
Oh wow, really? Well, there's a bench tree right there.
Bro, I came here first. Fuck. Get off my bench.
The man says.
Go on, yes. I'll put it down first. Please.
Alright, go one down. Go one down. Yes, that's what I want. It's too low.
Oh. I haven't even showered today.
That was my joke, bro.
Say when?
Shit. Hurry up. Do one rep. Oh, I didn't tell you when to press that thing.
I got it.
Press too quick. Way too quick.
The Grind is brought to you by Adonis Athletics, Australia's leading chain of strength and conditioning facilities. SBD and City Strength for the world's leading powerlifting accessories. Raw fitness equipment for top quality gym equipment and accessories. And your health, sport and spine for knowledgeable and quality care of our contestants' mobility and rehab needs.
Hey guys, it's John from City Strength here to talk about the SBD elbow sleeve. The SBD elbow sleeve comes in sizes from extra small right up to 2XL, manufactured exclusively in the UK, and is made with 2 thicknesses of neoprene. 7mm on the outside of the elbow, 5mm on the inside of the elbow. This is to allow smooth elbow movement and comfort when bending through the elbow, so there's not too much material bending ending up in the joint there. Very, very useful for athletes who do a lot of pressing, be it bench pressing or overhead pressing. Strongman athletes love it also. Get yours today from citystrength.com.au.
I got close grip bench and deadlift today, so hopefully I don't skin my legs again. Yeah, I just don't want it to end. I really just don't want it to end. I'm having too much fun, so I'll be depressed when it's over, because I won't really have that thing to do every day and that person to chase, that goal to beat, you know, but I don't know, set new goals, I'll be right.
That's alright. Let's go. Wait for him. Press. Press. Press.
Fresh.
Yeah. Fresh, mate. Fresh with that Adonis tea.
Ours is hot tea. Too fresh.
Good time, Heath. Always up for a good time. That's not dirty. That's on the real. That's on the real. Tell him, Heath. Tell him, bro.
What?
Tell him why you're the best.
I'm not the best.
Deep.
Come on, Nate. Come on, Nate.
Keep the back nice and tight.
Come on, Nate.
Easy.
Woo. Dude, that moved easy.
Yeah.
That was smooth. I like that.
Thank you.
It's supposed to be 8, yeah? Probably go up, man. That was like a 7. What's it, 192.5?
Well, last night was 2 or 2.5. You're gonna have to aid me because I didn't see how it moved. All I know is I felt easy, but I didn't get to see it.
Okay.
How easy it moved. All right.
It was good, like it's so tight too. As much as I want to do more, it's like obviously it's better to not, but you know, I would have felt better if I just put 20s on instead of all those little tiny plates.
We're just doing some, just a heavy single at 195, and then we're going to just follow up with a back down 3 sets of 5 at 165. That's about it.
That's fast, you got it. Nice.
I'm 5.
That's very lazy, bro.
Oh yeah, it's lazy. Shit.
No, it's not strengthening, bro. You're just lazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I agree.
Okay.
There's no disagreement here.
Fix it.
It feels like shit. This is why we deload. Come next week, it's like still full of shit.
Yeah, so you'll still be complaining you next week. I don't think there's a
I'm complaining, man. I have to complain.
Well, the first thing that you said to me when I was here is like, bro, just get used to it. I complain non-stop. You said that to me in the first week.
Yeah, I'm Waz's #1 client when it comes to complaining.
I don't think you were that serious.
I give it from me. No, I agree.
Confidence level. That one. Too high. That one. Too high. You got it. Yeah, what's the weight?
203.
One weight, 203.
What's that, 200?
Did 202 yesterday, pretty easy.
But what did the coach tell you? 200. So why did you do 2 or 3? You see, kids? This is why you stall. That's always Giraffe's pussy, bro. Fuck. Fucking high.
It was fairly high. But like, if you had put 200 on, you're probably a little bit more confident with it.
No, like I thought I dubbed one out of it. It's pretty good. It's really good.
Plenty of power. Like that's given, but you have to get. The thing is, you got to get perfect.
I don't know how high it is.
You have to get perfect constant practice with the technique. Because if you keep going high, you'll just practice being high, right?
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why we called for 200.
When you go for the,
You know? Well, no, that's it done now. There's no point.
I'm confident. So.
Yeah, it's fast. There's plenty of power there, but the technique's got to be right, man. You got to hit the depth. When he calls for 200, don't put 2 or 3 on. Put 200 on, and then get it right. Get the depth right.
I saw this place, so I thought I want to try it just for fun.
Yeah, well,
that's what I guess that's what a lot of people say, just for fun. And then they stall.
Yeah.
Hits there, although very easy, his starting position wasn't 100%. He was sort of looking at the floor and then halfway up decided to look up to finish the pull. The only problem with this is when trying to look up halfway into the lift, your lumbar has already flexed to a certain degree. So unless you finish with that position, looking straight down or whatever it is, as long as you can maintain neutral spine, it's fine. But he needs to look up to finish the lockout, so he needs to get his chest higher. He needs to start in that position for the lockout to be a lot smoother. So we're going to work on that for next week.
You can choose to go squat, then deadlift, and then do bench. That's sometimes how it works.
It's 2% now.
It's like an Easter egg that you unlock, but some people just don't know about it.
Still listening. 98%.
Up, down, left, right, X, Y,
98, you're way off there, bro.
1% for the top set, 1% for the order.
Wait, but okay, let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. So you want to expend the most energy.
No, I'm just saying like the 90% I'm listening to the coach.
No. Let's just say it's 100%. No worries, all right?
Okay.
But I just want to get your logic down right here. So you did squat, then deadlift, even though it was supposed to be squat, bench, deadlift, right? For what reason? Like, what was your reason? Your logic. I just want to understand it.
My reason was because I knew I would move more weight on the deadlift, so I wanted to spend that energy doing the heavier lift first before I get to the lift that requires less weight to be moved, which is the bench after the squat for today.
Maybe you didn't understand like the purpose of the layout. Like it's that there for a reason.
For the pump.
Exactly. All right. So your body like tuned for those movements.
Oh, just today.
As in, you wanted to conserve more energy for the deadlift, right? That was your.
In other words.
That's your logic. You wanted to not do the bench press so that you conserve more energy to do the deadlift. But in fact,
and also there's one more reason.
yeah.
I was downstairs, so I wanted to get the deadlift done right next to the squat.
Because you were downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. That's just whatever, right? But
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Since
you asked,
I would argue that you were in a worse position for the deadlift, doing the deadlift after the squat, than if you had done the bench squat, then the bench, and the deadlift, because the bench itself acts as like kind of like an active recovery between the squat and the deadlift in itself.
Right.
Going from a squat to a deadlift, the movements are too similar. A lot of the same muscle groups are being used. So in fact, you are at a disadvantage for the deadlift. I reckon, that's my opinion, because that's how I feel.
I did feel my hips were more tired than
Of course,
today's deadlift.
because you just fatigue them through squats.
Yes.
Whereas if you had gone squat then bench press, not only would those muscles sort of get recovered a little bit, but you would have still kept stimulating the nervous system, then going into the deadlift. That's why in competition, once you do a competition, eventually you'll see what I mean here. You do the squat, then you do the bench press, then when you go to the warm-ups for the deadlift, you don't need a lot of warm-up sets as you normally do in training, and you don't need as many reps in warm-ups for the deadlift in a competition as you normally do in training. Because by the time you've done your squats and your bench press, you're awake, you're ready to go. So in fact, you put yourself at a bit of a disadvantage with the deadlifts, but also you probably disadvantage yourself with the bench now as well, because you've double fatigued yourself now.
Yeah.
During the time between squat and deadlift, you would have recovered from the acute fatigue, but you could have also had like an intra-workout supplement to like replenish some of the glycogen stores. So when you came to deadlift, you were feeling better. But
so after squats, you could have like downed some Gatorade or whatever, done some bench, which is not as intensive. It would have been in your system, in your bloodstream, starting to get absorbed to help fuel you for deadlifts now after this. And you would have gotten more out of your deadlift as well.
What happens when a clown farts?
What?
It smells funny.
The deload is done and there are no more excuses. Everyone should be feeling sharp come next week, ready for the sprint to the finish line. There have already been some drastic improvements shown by all lifters compared to their initial strength testing at the start of the show. And with 3 weeks still on the cards, there is a whole lot more improvement that can come about. But at the same time, a whole lot of things can also go wrong. In powerlifting and strength sports in general, the athletes who get to legendary status and move mind-boggling weights have two commonalities. They manage to stay injury-free the most compared to their competitors, and they turn up to training the most often while doing this. If you wanted the secret, that's pretty much it. This 12-week series is just a condensed and miniature version of this in practice for you to see. And when the winner is crowned at the end of it all, you will see the 2 points just mentioned before was also present in their journey from the start till the end. See you all next week for the beginning of the peaking phase.